What did the California gold rush of the 1850s, the Texas oil boom of the early 90s, and the dot-com era of the early 2000s all have in common? Sure, these history-shaping events turned a select few risk-takers into millionaires overnight, created various titans of industries, and captivated the public's imagination with tales of average people striking it rich beyond their wildest dreams. But what rarely gets talked about in the discussion of these events is an overlooked but a powerful wealth creation strategy that emerged for average people like you and me. One I like to call the picks and shovels principle. Because whilst most of the glory went to the prospectors willing to risk it all in the gold mines, the oil rigs, or the garages of their web startup, there was a group of individuals who flew under the radar, quietly earning huge fortunes with the picks and shovels principle. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how you can apply that exact same strategy to get rich in an entirely new gold rush that is happening right before your eyes in 2024. But before I get ahead of myself, let me quickly explain how the picks and shovels principle actually works. If you look closely enough at any of these gold rush events, it becomes clear that only a small percentage of people actually get rich from striking gold. In fact, less than 1% of miners, oil drillers, and tech founders in each of these booms end up seeing lasting success. But at the same time, thousands profited from the hysteria of selling picks and shovels. Let me explain. The picks and shovels principle originated from a group of people who took a different approach during the gold rush of the 1850s. Rather than risking it all in the mines themselves, they tapped into the exploding demand for mining supplies and got rich by selling picks and shovels. But don't let the name fool you. The picks and shovels principle applies to all other gold rush-like events that happened throughout history. Whether it was the rig manufacturers or the pipeline builders that got rich during the East Texas oil boom, the server and software tool creators that got rich in the dot-com boom, or the shipping and logistical companies that got rich during the e-commerce gold rush in the early 2000s. In all cases, by supporting the rise of a new industry, these pick and shovel suppliers were able to build huge fortunes in the process. Another example is Levi Jeans. Levi was just a small family-run dry goods business selling basic clothes and tools until gold was first discovered at Sutter's Mill. Rather than heading west to mine gold themselves, they pivoted their focus to outfitting gold miners with durable work pants and jackets. The result? Levi went from a small family-run business to a massive enterprise, generating over 100K a year in the 1890s. The point being, of the 300,000 plus people that flooded California seeking instant riches from the gold rush, only about 100 became millionaires. And for every YouTube or Amazon that went on to dominate during the dot-com era, thousands more, like eToys, Webvans, Pets.com, crashed to zero, which proves that in the midst of these temporary crazes, the real wealth has always been by selling picks and shovels. And in 2024, there is a new gold rush opportunity where almost anybody who leverages this timeless principle will make an immense amount of profit. The gold rush I'm referring to is the online education industry, which according to Yahoo Finance is set to balloon into a $475 billion industry by 2030. That's nearly a 4x growth rate over the next 5 years alone. Now, why is this industry seeing such explosive growth? The truth is, more and more people are waking up and realizing there are faster, cheaper, and more effective ways to acquire skills and generate a substantial income that colleges and universities simply aren't teaching. And while spending $30,000 a year and going into massive debt to get a 4-year traditional degree used to be necessary, it's a trend that's beginning to die off, mostly due to the rise of alternative online education. Online education makes it possible to spend a fraction of what it costs to get a university degree and to learn hyper-specific skills with an ROI that is pretty much guaranteed. Examples of this being online education companies that are teaching people how to sell, how to market, how to build their own businesses, how to get into e-commerce, etc., etc. There are hundreds of other examples I could give you to illustrate why traditional education is on the decline and alternative education will continue to explode. Now, it's no surprise that Alex Hormozi made his biggest investment ever into an online education software called Skool. Now, if you're not familiar, Skool is a software platform that allows online education companies to host their communities, their schools, and their courses. Meaning the success of this company is entirely dependent on more and more online education businesses entering the space within the coming years. And as we can see from his multi-million-dollar investment into Skool, Alex Hormozi is betting his house that they will. But here's the thing, just like the miners, the oil drillers, most people who try and start their own online education company will inevitably fail. However, for those who leverage the picks and shovels principle, lasting fortunes are about to be made. And that's the primary reason that I'm making this video today. If you want to piggyback this exploding industry and get rich from Skool in 2024, forget about trying to create your own online course or becoming an educator yourself. Instead, you can take the picks and shovels approach that's withstood centuries worth of booms. By simply helping these online education companies, by joining their sales team and selling their product for them as a high ticket closer. Because just like gold miners couldn't extract gold without the picks and shovels, online course creators and education companies can't profit without sales reps to help convert their prospects into buyers. So naturally, by finding and partnering with already successful online education companies who are attracting new prospects by the thousands, you can get in on the gold rush without mining any of the metaphorical gold yourself, which is exactly what my coaching program, Club Closer, has done for hundreds of people. So if you're interested in getting rich from an exploding industry, I suggest you check out some of my other content where I'll explain exactly what a high ticket closer is and how you can become one in 2024. A link to that video will be in the description below. And if you're looking just to learn more about sales or online business, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.